Okay, welcome everyone. After a couple of months. The last time we did a show was during the finals of the T20 World Cup, and then for some unknowing reasons, all three of us couldn't meet. But at least here we are. What has happened in the last couple of months? There has been a spring of one-day matches that's happening, of course, because of the World Cup, which is due later in October, the 50-over World Cup. So all the teams are gearing up and trying to get back to that mode of playing that middle bit of a cricket, as I say. It's not fast cricket of 2020, it's not slow of the tests, but it's that middle zone. But before that, there's an interesting equation that's pending of the World Test Championship. The two probable teams, India and Australia, and the Gavaskar Trophy about to begin. And I think South Africa is the other team that can qualify as well. I
Sri Lanka
welcome all
also
of
has
you
some
in
outside chance.
Sri Lanka. Yes, in a scenario where India loses probably all three or
Yes.
four
All
matches.
four.
Yeah.
All four.
So welcome everyone to just another cricket podcast. Welcome Gopal Devankur. How have you been?
It's
Firstly, a
been
very
it's
happy new
been
year, guys.
yeah.
Sorry,
Good.
go on, go ahead, go ahead.
Good. Devankar, good.
Yeah, so this will happen, after 2 months, all of this chink in the armor sets in. It will take time for us to get smooth. So, a very happy new year, guys. As Shantan mentioned, unforeseeable reasons and everything. But we have been watching cricket. We are really updated with what is happening. Excited with the IPL also coming up before the World Cup, which is, celebrated much more than the World Cup, so to say, with all the auctions and everything going on. So things have been good. I hope Gopal, you've been doing good as well.
Really good, Devankar. And as you said, I've been watching. I've been following cricket quite eagerly. And even before the IPL, we have our Border Gavaskar Trophy that is coming up, and all excited for that fourth Test match series against Australia. And then that's the more of an excitement than probably IPL or even the World Test Championship at this point in time.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys. In the last couple of months, with all the matches that have happened, and if I talk about India first, they have been hot and cold, right? The last match, the first match versus New Zealand, scored a lot of runs, but almost lost the match. Today, it was absolutely a one-sided affair. But India, on its own day, looks really brilliant. But let's keep in mind that they've lost a series again in Bangladesh, right? But at this moment, they look like a more settled team, right? Do you think the Indian team is pretty settled now and they're really going to be confident? As a neutral fan, I know always we go to an event and we feel like we are going to be winning the event. But as a neutral fan, do you think the team is well settled in the 50-over format with around 4 or 5 more matches to go before October?
Devankar, you want to take or I'll
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Shantan, see there are spots. I mean, one of the brightest things that are coming for the 50 over format is I think the return of the king. This Virat Kohli is scoring again. He's scoring hundreds, usual hundreds, which he used to score prior to COVID. So that spot is more or less a sealed spot. The other spot is more or less a sealed spot now with Rishabh Pant getting that accident and he's not going to be part of it is because now Rahul is going to be the wicket keeper. I think that is a unanimous choice. I don't see Ishan Kishan even coming back. I mean, he'll be the second choice wicket keeper, but I don't think he will be the first choice wicket keeper unless Rahul completely fails in the upcoming matches. Rohit as a captain, we have the captain opening it out. Gill has proved his place in opening the slot. So the top four is almost settled. Maybe Surya, Shreyas Iyer, that spot gets opened up a bit. With Ravindra Jadeja coming in, then you have the lower middle order where Akshar Patel has performed really well. Washington Sundar in this series has performed really well. So that spot of that bowling all-rounder gets opened. I'm not pretty sure whether Bumrah after the IPL Border Gavaskar Trophy, all those pieces will whether he'll be fully fit to play it out. Uh, so you have good bowling options right now, but then on a given day, Shandan, we will probably need that combination of 2011, wherein you, apart from your 4 to 5 settled bowlers, you also have the bowlers or the batsmen who can still bring you that bowling options of bowling about 4 to 5 overs. I think today we are lacking on that piece. We don't have. If you look at it in the earlier version of the 2011 2012 teams, you had Raina, you had Sachin, you had Sehwag, I mean,
Yuvraj.
you like Yuvraj Singh and 4 of your 5 top batsmen will can give you 20 overs on a given day if they really bowl well. So that comfort is probably is missing in today's Indian team. I think we'll have to find. I don't think, and that option will always be a question mark because Hardik's form in a 20 over format is quite different. His performance has been quite different. He has performed in 20 overs, but I've not seen Hardik completely perform in a 50 over format where he has probably won a match single handedly for India in that batting in a crunch situation or through a bowling piece.
Yeah, he did.
So I think
He did that last match in England where I think Pant scored a century and then he scored a 70 odd run over there. But I'll just
it was not a single. It was not a single-handed thing.
yeah, I mean,
So I mean,
okay, okay.
I
So
mean,
so
his performances in one day still needs to be proved. So that position, I think that is one place where India has to really think through it. And see, the other challenges, Shantan, is today in today's matches, as you have seen, scoring a 300, 350, 360 is also not safe. I mean, the opposition knows that if you are going to score 360, you are. I mean, the opposition is also equally confident enough to score the 360 runs unless you bowl really well. So it is
yeah,
not that you score 360 and you can be rest assured that the game is over. So
correct.
I mean there are a few points areas Indians have to really look into it before the World Cup. I mean because you have really good teams that are going to compete in the World Cup, and every
Yep.
match is going to be critical. Let's see.
So Devankar, I think and while the World Cup is another 7-8 months away, so we'll talk a bit more as we go close to the event. But I have to ask you this question. So the point that Gopal mentioned was that whether when your batters can bowl or not, you will not develop that in the next 7-8 months for sure because you're not going to make big changes. So you already know who are your 15. You almost know who's going to be your 11 players as well. So what
I
do you
hope.
think is still the risk and still things that the Indian team will feel like doing or changing or developing in the next 7-8 months?
Yeah. I don't know whether this is a boon or this is a kind of you know a bane, because if you have so many players and you keep chopping and changing, and then suddenly in one series you've got a player who's performing well, and the second series you hear that he's all of a sudden injured. I don't remember, when we were growing up and in the teams of the 2000s, Sachin Tendulkar played back-to-back, series with a tennis elbow. It was bothering him, but he still went on playing. He did not take, a couple of series off. Javagal Srinath had a problem with his elbow, with his shoulder, with his knee, with his everywhere, but he still came up and bowled 140. I don't understand what's wrong with the kids of today, wherein Shreyas Iyer, who performed well against Sri Lanka, suddenly says that he's injured. I don't know whether it's a tactic to try and fill in another player who deserves to play, not deserves, but rather waiting in the wings to play like Surya Kumar Yadav. But this, I think, somehow, hampers the growth of the team collectively. And we've been always talking about, even before T20 World Cup, that there had been a lot of chopping and changes. The team was not consistently playing together. Rohit takes an off, Kohli takes an off, then Rahul Dravid takes an off. So there is this gelling bit which is missing. Jasprit Bumrah is not there. He's coming into one series and then another couple of series without even playing. His stress fracture comes back. So who's observing these guys, who is giving them the fitness certificate at the first that they come up into the team and then suddenly say that he's not fit, he cannot take it up. So there's somewhere or the other the process is not correct, and we are not somebody who can actually go ahead and comment on what processes the Indian team is following. But then you can understand, right? There is some bit of communication failure which is happening. What has happened to Pant is very unfortunate. He's such a budding cricketer. He's been performing well, at least in the red ball format. What has happened to him is that he's out for such a long period, and that is not something that you would want to hear, even for your enemies. But that has given a chance for the other guys to come up and play. But then again, as Gopal has said, we are still going with the thought process of having KL Rahul as the first choice wicketkeeper. So somehow or the other, if they want to do this, as you're saying that our top 11 or top 15 or top 17 is fixed, let's stick with them for the 7 months without chopping and changing, and let's have these guys not take so much of rest. If they take so much of rest, you are letting complacency setting into the team. So I've
Yeah,
seen players like
yeah, I think you with around what six, I mean, maybe another couple of series left. So I don't think the main players are going to take any rest on the one day format. Like in the T20s, I think both Virat and Rohit are not playing, which
for
is
New Zealand, they
fine.
are not playing. Yes.
Yeah, but I think none of the players who are supposed to play in the World Cup are going to get any break, and there is already a lot of noise around that. So, then
So
why don't
one
you
point
why
that
don't
I
you
picked
finish your
up,
point? Yeah, yeah,
yeah, to your point, to this point particularly, wherein we want Rohit and Kohli to play all the matches before the World Cup. These guys, it has to be Rohit's swan song. I mean, I don't see Rohit continuing beyond this World Cup, at least in these guys will not be playing 2027 or 2026 World Cup. Let's face the fact. Kohli might still go ahead. He'll be what 37, 38 by then, so he might still go ahead. But I don't see Rohit's fitness currently that it will, and with what Hardik breathing down his neck for his captaincy, and he's doing it very shamelessly. Like he wants the captaincy very quickly. So I don't see Rohit going forward. So this is their last, so to say, the major tournament, and Rohit has to play all the matches. But to my point, like Shreyas Iyer, Achanak say, how can somebody get injured so as to miss the entire series? And he's been performing so well. So
No, I
somehow
think
or
see
the
see
other,
see this is the thing, Devankur. While it is said that okay they have a niggle, you never know because these days the actual truth doesn't come out, right? So you probably want him to take a rest, just not because he has played a lot of cricket, but probably you want to try a couple of other players so that by in the build up to the World Cup, what if Shreyas gets injured or during the World Cup he gets injured? You know what happened in 2019 World Cup? You had to flew Pant with no experience at all because you needed a replacement. So probably they want to keep the guys like Sky or Ishan Kishan enough match practice. See, 50 overs is lot difficult these days. You see today's match, right? A team couldn't bat for 30, they couldn't bat for 50 overs. In England, the first match, the first ODI, they could bat for 50 overs. Same in a lot of other matches, you see teams getting bowled out. So probably that was one reason. We never know. We can only speculate. But
correct. So
I think the management will always want, their top 12, 15 players to be match fit, and when I say match fit, it's not playing IPL and T20s, but a 50 over match.
that's where the problem comes in. These guys will play the entirety of IPL. They'll not just miss a single match, and then these certain niggles and injuries and all of this will crop up, and then the mismanagement of the entire episode, like what has happened with Ravindra Jadeja, what has happened with Jasprit Bumrah. This is going to come. So
Yep.
somehow or the other, we need to also be, concerned about that fact also.
So there is very little that we as fans can do. As I said, we can only speculate. But Gopal, tell me quickly, you know, Yuzvendra Chahal didn't get a lot of matches last year. He got some, but somehow that old Husey giving a lot of flight, great wrong ones, the flippers were missing, which meant he went wicketless in the middle overs, in the crunch situations, and he went for a lot of runs. On the other hand, Kuldeep, whenever he got chances, he looked more like a wicket-taking bowler. His flair of getting the ball, sneak through the bat and pad of right-handers came back in. Uh, do you think that he has a little bit more of an edge over Yuzi Chahal right now?
Indeed, indeed. No, no questions about it. I don't. I mean, if you're going to ask me about the choice, between whom you want to bowl 10 overs, I'll rather go with Kuldeep because he's looking more in a rhythm to pick up wickets to me in that middle overs, crucial wickets, not and probably he can run through a strike. I mean, if the ball is properly, I mean, the ball is if it's in a real good rhythm, he's going to run through it. You Yuzvendra Chahal, I don't think he has been looking good in any format for that matter. Even for in the T20 World Cup, I mean T20 format, I don't see him playing matches because I mean all said and done, I don't think he's lost his skills of bowling that next spin. I mean, if you look at it, the Australian T20 World Cup also, you would have thought that you needed someone like a Zampa or a Shadab Khan or a Rashid Khan. And here is one guy who's probably either not lighting it completely or is not even giving that pace also. And people are not turning that much also. So in today's scenario, Shantan, and that is going to be that is going to be one open point for a concern for India as well. That you don't have a proper leg spinner going into the World Cup. It might be a challenge, and I don't see. I cannot confirm it that it's definitely going to be a challenge. But if you look at the previous World Cup, you had Piyush Chawla in 2011 when the World Cup was in India. I think he played a role in the middle order, but I don't know. Maybe
I
you
don't
need
think
one
Piyush Chawla played a lot of match. He probably played that match against England, which was a tie.
with a tie.
But
Yeah,
he was there in the squad, but he didn't played a lot of match because it was
Ashwin played
Ashwin
a lot.
and
Ashwin played a lot.
correct.
Harbhajan
Yuvraj.
who was playing mostly. Yeah, Yuvraj was
Yuvraj was
there
getting a lot
obviously.
of.
You are saying so here. I mean, I go looking at the form. I would and the run up to the World Cup. I would really want Kohli to settle down, give him the confidence that yes, boss, you are there for the World Cup. Don't even think through it. You are my go-to bowler in this space of 15 overs to 25 overs or 30 overs. Is the message that I would want to give it to him and build that confidence to him.
Yep.
In the run up, probably I might still ask him that boss, okay, don't play anything. You don't play T20s. You don't play Test matches. Concentrate only on one days and give me the wickets that I need in the middle overs. Because
But Kuldeep has worked a lot on his action, and he has done a lot of tweaks to his action. As Deep Das Gupta keeps mentioning in the commentary, I mean, the way he's pivoting, the way he's putting his feet, the way he's putting it 90 degrees of his arm. So he's made a lot of changes to the bowling in which the batsman is not
indeed,
able to
that
retain,
is
and
why
so
that is
that's
why
good.
probably more than a genuine leg spinner, a left arm leggy
China
is something a Chinaman would probably a better option for us
better option.
going into this World
See,
Cup.
and I think see
And
that the other thing is he's actually turning the ball and he's turning it fast. See, I mean you can
Correct.
be a spinner, but if your ball don't spin fast, batsmen these days have enough time to still change the shot and all. But if you see, he's actually ripping those googlies and then the leg spinners as well.
and
So yeah,
he's bound to get hit for runs. We'll have to accept that, but he's
yeah,
taking wickets. So he's changed his action. He's changed the way he's bowling. He's bowling the faster
Exactly.
ones
So
also, and he's been bowling
so
well in
so
IPL
so
also.
So and,
So I
and,
can't.
and year back, Shantan, and year back, if you look at it, or just before that, probably whenever last Kuldeep played, his was, I mean, he was bowling, he was getting hit, and he didn't have an answer to it. Today, he has an answer to it. He's
no,
varying
but
his
Gopal
pace.
probably too early to speak because I want him to do well against Australia and England. See, those are your big threats. I don't think the likes of even New Zealand or Sri Lanka and Bangladesh will be a threat. Your threat is when an England comes where even if they lose wicket, they'll come and hit you. That's where Kulcha got exposed for the first time. And Australia, right? Because they battle number seven, number eight. They have left-handers as well. So
But
that's where the real
Shanga, I mean,
comes.
I agree to your point, but confidence building is also important. This is giving Kuldeep the opportunity to build his confidence, which we always
And
have been complaining that
Yeah,
he
yeah,
looks
yeah,
out of confidence.
absolutely.
and Jayantan, this was, I mean, if you look at the Bangladesh tour, if you look at Sri Lanka also, and if you look at New Zealand, all these teams are more or less the same teams that are going to come into the World Cup squad. They didn't, I mean, none of them had actually played a second string side. Maybe in some cases, for that matter, for bowlers, for maybe New Zealand, if Bolt can play, I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating it out. But the
Williamson
batsman
is not
still
here.
remains. Williamson is one of. I don't think any other changes is going to be made. But if you look at the composition of the squad, whether it is Sri Lanka or whether it is New Zealand, it's a full-fledged squad that he has played. So I think Devankar's point is extremely right. It gives a lot of confidence to Kuldeep to get into it. Probably we also have a three-match one-day against Australia. I think that will tell us how good he is.
Yeah.
Probably how good he's getting into it for a chance in the World Cup.
I hope he plays in the Border Gavaskar Trophy as well. So coming to the Border Gavaskar Trophy, because I think that's the next big, or let's say that's the first big thing that's coming our way. How are you looking at it, Devankur? Because I think now you will need a new wicket keeper. So probably KS Bharat is going to be the wicket keeper. And that's going to be a big impact because, at least in the red ball cricket, Pant brings that
Yes.
that zing, that
Yes.
that energy, that someone who actually can turn the game onto its head, right? A fast 50 or 100. And at the same time, now you'll probably, Kuldeep did very well in Bangladesh. He was man of the match in one of the tests. So probably you will play him as well. Uh,
He was dropped the
let
next
me
day.
ask you, let me ask you about the pitch first, okay? Because there is a lot of tactical mind games that are already happening here,
Yes.
nearly talking about the pitch and all. Do you think it's going to be rank turners like the way India typically does whenever Australia visits?
Ideally, should be.
See, no, we don't. We have not been putting up rank turners. I'm really sorry to say. Even I was watching the Ahmedabad Test match also against England, wherein Akshar Patel took 12 wickets. They were all straight deliveries.
No,
So
so
we
so so, so here is the thing, Devangu. Sorry, I'll just 10 seconds. I'll interrupt you. You will in a rank turner, you will always get wickets with straight
with the
deliveries
straight
because
deliveries. I know.
the
I know.
ball spins so much that it will miss the wicket and miss the edge. But you always play for the
I
spin and you miss the straight ones.
I accept that. But the point is, if you are playing on a faster pitch on a green top, you also need to learn how to play on these kind of tracks. Wherein if there is a rank turner, if you are talking about rank turner, it has to be up to the bowler's caliber to keep the ball straight, right? Otherwise, if you pitch it any which way, it is going to turn, either inside or outside. It is going to turn. So the point here is, even when we were talking about Ahmedabad being a rank turner, dirty pitch, and all that, the bounce was consistent throughout. Even pacers were taking wickets from the England side, and the balls were turning, and the balls which were keeping straight were taking the wickets. That was one of my reference that I wanted to pick up. But to your point, Pune was when the last time Australian players had come up. Pune was a ranked turner. I don't think so. We are going to put up that. Where are we playing? We are playing in Nagpur. We are playing in Delhi. We are playing in Mohali, and we are. I think fourth. I think is in
Not Mohali. Mohali or Dharamshala.
Dharamshala. Dharamshala. We are playing in
Oh,
Dharamshala.
Not
you're oh
Yes.
Mohali.
you're we're playing a
Dharamshala
test in
and
Dharamshala this
Wankhede.
time.
And Wankhede.
No, not Wankhede. I don't think so. Mumbai, are they playing?
Mum-
Okay,
Mum-
maybe.
Mumbai is the first
First
test.
is Nagpur. First is Nagpur. Nagpur. Nagpur is first.
No, then I think it's
You guys,
Mumbai.
you guys carry on. Let me quickly check the
Yeah.
venues. But
Nagpur,
yeah,
Dharamshala, Delhi. These three, I'm pretty sure of. Fourth, I'm not sure of. Delhi will be a bad pitch
Ahmedabad.
because
I think
Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad.
Yes. Fourth is Ahmedabad. Correct.
Ahmedabad.
Yes, Motera. Yes.
Not
So
Madera.
the
Motera.
new
They've
the
called
new
it
one,
Motera. They call it Motera only.
the Narendra
So
Modi Stadium.
Narendra Modi Stadium. Yes. So Nagpur, I'm pretty sure will be a very sporting pitch. Dharamsala, we know because of conditions, they'll have to keep a green top. So it will be a very sporting pitch. Delhi could be a rank turner. And Ahmedabad, of course. I mean, it will be a good pitch to bat on, for sure. All this talk of, Ian Healy starting with saying that, if they give dirty pitches, they're going to win and all that. It's just a psychological game they're starting to play with India. But I'm not sure that the pitch is going to be, because we have the bowling wherewithal for any kind of pitches. We have Shami and we have Siraj, two brilliant, pacers right now. Bumrah fit. Bumrah, I don't think so will be coming. They have announced that Bumrah is not going to be there for the series. And then we have good spinners. And Akshar will play, I'm sure. Jadeja might play, might not play, and Ashwin is there. So we have got a good four bowlers who can actually take wickets on 20 wickets on any kind of surfaces. I'm concerned about my batting, about our batting. To be very frank, Pujara and Kohli look to be in form, and as you've correctly pointed out, this will be a psychological advantage to Australia, thinking that Pant, who was their nemesis, is not playing. It was Pant who single-handedly won us that series down under, and he was the one who was changing the games for us. Now, Australia, Nathan Lyon, and all those spinners will bowl with much more confidence when they know that Pant is not there. So I'm
No,
not sure.
but here is my question to you, Devankar, and that's why I spoke about the pitch. It's not so much on whether they can stop India from scoring runs, but whether they can score the runs or not. Because that's where
Against
most
India.
of the team struggles, right? So
Yes.
even if India typically will not, even if they're the worst of batting, will not get out for less than 250, 300, right? Now
I
the
hope. I
other
hope.
teams that,
Yes.
yeah, see the touring side struggle to get to 250 in those turning
Hmm.
wickets. And
Hmm.
the catch is whether the likes of, Warner is not in the best of form, though he has scored a double hundred recently. But
Wajal,
the rest,
Labuschagne, Smith, Head,
yeah,
four
whether
guys.
they are good enough, when Ashwin or Kuldeep, actually turns the ball.
You're saying Kuldeep, but I don't see Kuldeep fitting into the team, to be very
So
honest. He
who's
can
going to be
spring a
the
little
three
bit.
spinners?
I think Akshar, Ashwin, uh, three spinners.
Who's
Okay,
your
so you're
third
saying
spinner? You will
yeah,
play three spinners for sure, right? You'll go with two fast bowlers
three
and
spinners.
three
Yeah,
spinners. I'm sure Siraj is going to play, and then
Siraj and
you'll
Shami
probably
are going to go.
you'll
Siraj and
probably
Shami will
go
be your
with
pacers.
Shami. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Or even with Unadkar as well. If he has done well in the last match, but whichever, he'll probably play two seamers and then three spinners for sure.
spinners. Yes, yes, correct.
Yeah. So I
Great.
mean, if three spinners are playing, then will you pick him,
Then
Kuldeep
Kuldeep
as
will
your
come in.
third spinner?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
because
And
Jadeja and Akshar
Mhm.
together doesn't make sense.
No. I don't think so. I am not sure if Jadeja is going to be fit during that time. If he is, he should play. I think ahead of Aksar, because he'll
He's
probably.
playing the Saurashtra team, Saurashtra game, the last Ranji he's playing to prove his
Okay.
fitness. So
Okay.
let's
Okay.
see.
So Gopal, a couple of quick questions to you. I think recently Ravi Shastri has mentioned that if India wins the second ODI, Virat and Rohit should not play the third, and they should play the Ranji matches. India did win today. Do you think that's the right thing to do? They should miss an international match and go ahead and play. And do you think it will benefit them?
It will, Santon. I think both Kohli and Rohit did not. I don't think they did pretty well in. I mean, but Rohit was not even there in the team, and I mean they were and they were pretty ordinary. And it's been quite a while that they have not played a red ball test match, a red ball match rather. So it will. I mean, they'll
I
have
mean,
to
they,
use
they
this.
just they just played last month against Bangladesh, both of them.
No, Rohit was not there. I don't think Rohit was
Rohit was not
there.
there. Rohit was not there.
Rohit
Rohit
was not
was
there.
injured.
Rohit
Okay,
was
Rohit was
only
not
Rohit
there.
had
Yeah,
Rahul.
that finger injury.
Yeah, finger
yeah,
injury was dropped. I think Rahul only led the squad.
yeah.
So Rose was not there. So I mean, see one bit that comes to my mind, Stanton, is Devankar rightly pointed out Pant's piece and why Pant plays such a very very important crucial role is that among the top 5 to 6 batsmen, he is the only left-hander that we have. And in test matches, if Nathan Lyon is going to be Australia's number one bowler, it has to be a left-hander who has to stop them. I think I think against a right-hander, you will always fancy Lyon's chances because of the ball turning towards him. I mean towards the batsman. But a ball turning away, it's always a easier pick for a lefty to play it out. And hence, the question could be here is that whether, I mean, if at all Ravindra Jadeja proves his fitness and comes in, the question could be play both of them and maybe play Jadeja as a pure batter at number five because you need
He'll
that
never. I'm
keeping.
sure he'll never play as a pure batter. I mean,
I
you
mean,
can always
he
take
will he
Aksar
will
and
play as an
Jadeja
all
both, but
rounder. See,
yeah, he'll
I'm actually
definitely
open.
bowl.
Yeah, so I'm actually open for that because the Jadeja, Akshar, Ashwin gives me that batting bowling strength as well. In Indian girls especially, who have scored a lot of runs at batting as well, and they can take wickets as well. So and Kohli's form is going to be very very good. Pujara is in. is in decent form. So I don't see. I mean, I'm hoping that Pujara continues good form. The opening is going to be a trickier one. What do? You have to. I mean, you have to play Rohit.
Gill
Now,
and
what
Rohit.
happens to Rahul? Whether Gill is going to come in or whether Rahul
I don't
decided
think
to
I
leave the
don't think
wing.
they'll. I mean, this was actually my next question to Devankur, but I don't think they're going to tinker the change and then change with the Rohit Rahul partnership. Whereas I think you guys will remember that I've always advocated that this guy should play all the three formats and open,
Gill.
right? But I mean, if in another match to go, if he's really playing well, he should be actually playing. He should be there in the first 11 as well. So let me change the question to Devankur in that case. Devankur, how's the noise or how's the mood in the Mumbai circle around Sarfaraz Khan after scoring so many centuries for the last 3 years and Surya Kumar Yadav getting a nod ahead of him?
Yeah, so I'll answer this question by ending it with a question to you when we've taken the other guy's name. So let me start with a question. Once I answer it, do you think Surya will play the test matches against Australia? Will he fit into the team? So
He will
I'll
not indeed.
let you answer that. You won't?
He
I
will
think
not.
he'll get a chance. He'll get a chance, maybe, possibly. But
I
yeah,
Depends on
Sarfaraz,
how
depends
where I mean in
depends
which
on Shreyas.
place?
No, depends on
Shreyas is
Shreyas Ayer's, Shreyas
Shreyas
Ayer's,
is
I mean, form. I mean, if he's not performing
Come
the
on,
first two test
come
matches,
on.
he's in good form. He's
I
in really
don't
good
think
form.
Shreyas has been in good form in all the three
Very good
formats,
form.
Gopal.
Yeah.
He has been in all. He is the only guy who has been in very good form. He probably every one or two match between he'll score a 50 or 100. So even if he doesn't score, I'm sure he's going to play all the four matches. Unless and until there is an injury, I don't see Sky playing, honestly. Because if you look at the team, it's settled. Where do you replace him? If at all you want to replace someone, see, you cannot take Sky because of the scoop shots that you're seeing. I'm sure he comes with 70 odd
Obviously.
domestic matches behind his back, but then you don't have a place in the middle order for him because Virat comes number 4, Shreyas number 5, and then you'll probably have a Bharat coming in at number 6 and also. I don't see a place. If at all you really want to get someone in, so it should be Gill who has shown the temperament to play long innings and has the technique as well. But otherwise, what's your take? Do you think? See, even Sarfaraz, if you would have named in the squad, he would have not played.
He'll not
But
be in the 11.
it would have made that guy a lot more confident, right? And sending rewarding someone from who plays the Ranji match as well. But what is your take? How are the people around Mumbai feeling? Because you stay at
So that,
Mumbai,
sir,
so why don't you tell us a
you
bit?
you you've seen Amol Muzumdar's reaction to
Yeah,
it, right? He has doffed his hat, and people are saying
yeah,
that is one Ranji great who's not converted it into international form is doffing his hat to another Ranji great who'll never come into the international circuit. That's what the talk here is. But there is another talk wherein I don't know whether to believe it or not, but Sunandan Lere, one of the senior most journalists, have come out saying that third and fourth test matches, Surfaraz is to be in the 17 is what he's saying. So let's see.
but
He
replacing
should.
whom? Unless someone
No,
gets
I don't
injured.
know. No, I don't know. I mean, the way these guys are working, Shreyas is injured. I'm pretty sure Shreyas is not injured. But the point here is they'll say that this guy is injured, should not be able to play and get Surfaraz into the team. But that will help Surfaraz, as you correctly said. He'll have the exposure sitting with the Indian team, international match, playing against a biggie like Australia, where there is an
Yeah,
opportunity to play them in the final. So Gopal, you wanted to say
yeah.
something? I think we don't have
We
much
just
time.
about
who
45
is
seconds left, guys.
who is
So
who is the second wicket keeper that we have in this squad, Chandan, apart from Bharat? Is Ishan Kishan.
Ishan
there is
Kishan.
there is
Ishan Kishan.
there is Zishan Kishan
Ishan
as
Kishan.
a wicket keeper, and then
I
there was
find
one
I
more
mean
guy that I cannot recall, whose name was also around in the circles. But we'll have to end with around 20 seconds left. After
If you're
meeting
talking
after a
about
long time, and
Jitesh Kumar, he's in T20.
yeah.
Jitesh, he's in the T20
probably,
match.
yeah, probably.
Chandan,
Okay, so we've
closing
been meeting after a long time. I know we want to go on and on and on, but Zoom would not allow us to do that. So thank you again, once again, for joining in. We promise to be a little more regular with a lot of cricket coming in, and hope you like today's episode. This is Shantan on behalf of everyone signing off. You are watching just another